Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was the basic outline of the demo that I run. And the demo that most of our henchmen over here in SoCal Malifaux, what they run, the basic structure of that. Okay, so first things first. When a player comes over for a demo, the first thing you need to do is to get a bit of an introduction. So you tell them your name, you ask for their name. Very important to remember their name. Please try. And trust me, I forget names all the time, and sometimes I need a reminder, and that's kind of rude, I know, but please try to remember their names. Now, the question that you are going to ask them, because you're going to open with a question as soon as you get their name, is this. You are going to ask them what their experience is with gaming. And when I mean experience with gaming, I mean, do they play tabletop games, tabletop miniature games? If so, which games do they play? If they play board games, if so, which board games do they play? That should give you an idea of what type of person you're working with, and it should help you curtail your demo to be the most effective for them. Sometimes you might be running a demo for a role player, in which case you might stress certain aspects of the game. You might even give a little 30-second blurb on fluff or the background of these characters. You might give them a setting under which why they're playing this particular demo, why Lady Justice and Seamus are going head-to-head here, things of that nature. If they're a tabletop player, then obviously some of the things that you're going to want to highlight or focus on are differences between this game and the system that they're playing. Now, you may not be familiar with the system that they're playing, and it doesn't hurt to ask when you're talking about the system that they're playing. One thing you want to avoid doing is talking down about the game that they're currently playing, even if it's a game that you cannot stand. And trust me, there are some games out there that I do not like. I would still, you still need to be polite. You still say, oh, that's good, that's, and you try to find something positive to say about that game if you know something about it. But the main reason why you're asking about what game that they played is if you do have experience with that game, that gives you a very strong point of reference and a point of relatability to the person you're demoing for. If they are maybe an avid modeler and painter, maybe you show them some of the stuff that you painted. Maybe you show them some of the stuff that you built. These are all points of relation that you have to make with the person that you're demoing for, because it leaves a lasting impression for one, but also because, and this is just my personal interjection here, it's fun. It's fun to meet somebody new and find out where they're from and what they're about in terms of gaming, and kind of show them something new, take them into this game that you enjoy so much. Now that introduction, that question should be about, anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds. What do you have experience with? What have you played before? And that should give you plenty of information about what you're working with. Once that intro is over, you're going to want to highlight and key in on some specific things. Now, the main thing for me when I'm showing somebody the Malifaux game is I key in on the dueling, the cheating fate aspect of the game. So one of the first things I do is after I ask them what their background is, I will break out a deck of cards. I will shuffle that deck up for them, and I'll take them through a supposed duel. I might actually do this shot from Death Marshal to Madame Sybil there. And it's important enough for you to spend a couple of minutes at the start of the demo, before any models have activated, just to show them, hey, this is the progression of an opposed duel, and this is how you cheat fate. Show them that in particular. Show them how to cheat higher cards to get at a better result, because that's the tool that they're going to be relying upon the most when they are playing your demo. So that's a very important one. So once you get that going underway, it's time to start the it's time to start the demo, and let's get started. Okay, so once you've shown them, given them a sneak peek of how the cheating fate mechanic works, now you're just about ready to get into the demo. You give them their deck of cards, you have them shuffle the cards. Some people can't shuffle cards, so you may have to shuffle the cards for them. That's fine. Now, Once you do that, then you deal out your control hand as normal, and you have them flip for initiative. And when they flip for initiative, win or lose, you're going to go through this next exercise. And this next exercise is how to go through the control hand itself, or the character cards themselves, how to read a character card. And I will show you quickly how I do this. So what I do with a character card is I kind of break it out into sections and explain things. So I will take them through. I start with the two black bars up here, which I call the body bars, because those have to do with the physical aspects of your character in most cases. Walk, charge, height, willpower, casting, defense, and wounds. These are body things, and I have them remember it that way because for some reason that seems to be very effective for people to go, oh, what's my defense? I'm going to look at the two body bars up here. The vertical bars in the middle obviously are the weapons, and this is a nice card to show them because they have both a ranged and a melee weapon. So you show them the RG, CB, and the damage curve of the weapons. And at this point I can also point out that, hey, look, the reason why these stats are colored in red is they're associated with triggers. And we'll show you triggers while we're playing the game. So once I've covered that, I talk about the AP as well. It's going to take you 1 AP to walk or 1 AP to use one of your weapons. You can use 2 general AP during your turn. So you can also use come down here to your spells and abilities, and in some cases you may see a 1 or a 2 underneath an ability, and that's how many action points it's going to require for you to do that. So I teach them very quickly how to read a card: body bar, weapons, abilities, descriptions. That's very quick. Then we will go through an activation, and I will walk them through an activation. Let's say they wanted to start with Mysterious. What do you want to do first? Well, you can shoot here. Then we go through a shooting duel, or if they walk and they do something else, that's fine as well. But that's one of the things you need to do very early in the game. Get a hold of the character card, walk them through how to look up things quickly in a character card, and then during the first duel, you may do all the totaling, all the math for them. And the faster you are at the math, the better your demo is going to be. If you go, okay, I'm at 11, right, and you're at 14, that's fine. You may do that for the first 1 to 3 duels, and then during the demo, you're going to want to turn it around and ask them, okay, what are you at? What are you at? Because it's sort of like you're checking if they were able to keep up or follow how these duels are working. What are you at for your defense? And then the player will go, well, I need to look at, what's the stat? It's DF, it's DF. And don't feel bad about helping them find the stat that they need. Remember, it's the first time they're looking at this card, and based on their background, they might not even be able to read the tiny print on here or whatever. But walk them through. Okay, you have a 4 there, you have a 7 there, and here's your total, so forth. So you're going to want to do that the first few times, and then at some point during the demo, turn it on them. That gives them ownership of the game. That gives them ownership of the duels. They start to understand what their card flips mean. They start to understand what their control hand is capable of doing or not doing for them. Now, when it comes to Soulstone use, I normally reserve that for the second turn, unless something really bad is happening. If I'm about to lose Seamus on the first round of the game, I may back up and show them how to use a Soulstone on the first round. However, I find it's better to not bring up the Soulstone use until about mid-demo, because that's a really powerful thing to throw in the mix, and that normally does leave an impression if you've left it out and have not shown them what it's about. Now, when you build your crew, you can explain to them, hey, I didn't lose that 1 Soulstone difference I have here in crews. I put that on my card because I'll be able to use that during our demo. That's a good thing to show them. For a very short 15-minute demo, you might even skip Soulstones or just go with 1 Soulstone per player. That's another thought that we've done. Sometimes we've given 1 Soulstone, sometimes it's been 0. It depends, again, on the length of game and how much time you've got with your particular player.